The moon hung low and red over the shattered remains of the Black Fang Colosseum, a forgotten battlefield whispered of only in vampire bloodlines and centaur legends. The crowd was invisible, hidden behind shadows and spells, their breaths held in eerie silence. Seth entered the arena first. His crimson cloak fluttered behind him like torn silk. Fangs glinted. His warboar snarled beside him, snorting steam as it pawed at the ground. Seth wasn't the strongest. He wasn't the fastest, but he was cunning, born of bloodlines that remembered empires. And he had fought in the dark, when the world wasn't watching. The torchlight shimmered against his eyes, enhanced by his night vision. He surveyed the ruins, traps, broken weapons, pits. Good. He could use the chaos. Then came thunder, hooves. Granville descended from the upper tier like a walking earthquake. A centaur painted in battle marks, his axe dragging behind him, leaving sparks across the stone floor. His muscles looked carved from storm clouds and rage. Omni-speed swirled around him like time had decided he moved faster than reality. Seth narrowed his eyes. This wasn't going to be a fight. It was going to be a war, and only one villain would walk out. Granville's hoof struck the ground, and the Colosseum shook like the gods themselves were watching. Seth raised a hand, a silent command. His warboar charged first, tusks glinting, eyes glowing red. The beast leapt with terrifying force, but Granville didn't flinch. With one brutal swing of his crescent axe, he sent the boar tumbling across the arena like a sack of meat. Seth was already moving, a blur in the night, zigzagging through debris, using every shadow like a blade. He launched forward with his twin daggers, aiming for Granville's exposed flank. But the centaur wasn't just muscle. He anticipated the strike. Granville's arm shot up, catching Seth midair. The vampire twisted, broke free, and rolled back before the axe could split him in half. Dust rose. The air thickened with tension. "You're fast," Granville muttered, his voice like rolling thunder. "But I'm inevitable." Seth smirked. "We'll see." He launched again, this time faster, more erratic. One dagger struck Granville's side, barely a scratch, but enough to draw a growl. Then it happened. Granville absorbed the blow, literally. His body shimmered with violet energy absorption activating. Seth stumbled back, confused. That's when Granville vanished. Omni-speed, time warped. Seth barely ducked in time as the crescent axe tore through the air, taking off a chunk of his shoulder pad. Pain surged. For the first time in centuries, Seth felt fear. But he wasn't done yet, not even close. Seth darted backward, his wounds shallow but bleeding fast. His eyes glowed crimson as he activated his night vision, trying to track Granville's impossible speed. The centaur blurred again, once, twice, before materializing in midair, axe raised high, aiming to cleave Seth in two. The vampire rolled, barely escaping, and hurled a wave of silver-tipped throwing knives in every direction. One of them grazed Granville's shoulder. No damage. The centaur barely blinked. Seth cursed under his breath. He reached for his warboar, but the beast was still twitching, out cold, ribs shattered from that first strike. Granville began to circle him now, not fast, slow, mocking, measured. "You're losing blood," Granville growled. "Even night creatures need blood, don't they?" Seth said nothing. He was stalling. Then his hand brushed the obsidian medallion on his belt, one of the last relics of his clan. It pulsed. A hidden vial snapped open, releasing a cloud of thick black mist. Granville paused. Seth vanished into the fog. Silence fell across the arena. Then came a whisper, cold and clear. "You may be faster, stronger, but I've fought gods in the shadows." A sudden burst of movement. Seth re-emerged from the mist, driving both daggers toward Granville's neck. But Granville grinned. In that instant, he let go of his axe and caught Seth's wrists midair. With a roar, he absorbed the vampire's remaining energy, draining his stamina like a vacuum. Seth's eyes widened. His body fell limp. The fight was shifting. He dropped to one knee, and Granville picked his axe back up. "Now," the centaur said, "I end your story." Seth's vision blurred. His heartbeat slowed. The chill of death began creeping through his limbs. But as Granville raised the crescent axe, a flash of defiance ignited in Seth's blood. He was a vampire, a warrior of the night. This would not be his end. Not yet. With the last spark of strength, he rolled to the side as the axe came down, cracking the stone beneath him. Dust flew. The arena trembled. Granville snarled, spinning, his arrogance now replaced with rage. Seth sprang backward, coughing blood, and activated a final trick, a cursed sigil etched into his own chest. One that would set off a short-lived blood explosion, enough to blind, enough to escape, but not enough to win. Granville saw it coming. With impossible speed, he hurled a piece of shattered arena pillar. It struck Seth mid-air, crushing him against the far wall. The sigil fizzled out. He collapsed, coughing, unable to move. His warboar whimpered in the corner, still alive but barely. Granville approached slowly, savoring it now. His hoof steps echoed in the ruins. His axe rested on his shoulder. "You fought well," he muttered, "but beasts like you don't get happy endings." With one clean swing, Granville struck. Silence. Dust settled. The crowd roared. The villainous centaur stood victorious. And Seth, the vampire who battled with shadows and steel, fell, defeated not by speed or strength alone, but by sheer, overwhelming power. Granville turned away, dragging his axe, victorious once more. But even as Seth's blood pooled in the cracked arena floor, his eyes remained open, watching, waiting. Because monsters don't truly die. They wait in silence for revenge.